Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. How you all doing, guys? Hope you're all doing great. Today guys, I'll be sharing with you how to make this cowl kaftan dress with a built-up collar. You can say this is also a cut together collar. Super easy. Let's dive into it. So this is the print that I'm using. This is an direct print I'm working with, and of course alongside my working tools. So that's what I'm going to use. And I'm also going to be making use of a plain satin fabric. I chose this color, okay, so I feel this one would be more better, so I'll use it to complement this for the neck design and also the sleeve band. That's what I'm going to be doing. So right now I have my fabric folded already into two. I'm going to be cutting out for the back first. Yes, for the back. So I just went ahead to indicate the length. My full length is what I need with some extra hemming allowance right there. So your choice will definitely be different. So now I'm going to go ahead to indicate the shoulder width, which is 16 divided by 2, that's 8. You can see that. So all I need now is just to know the actual length of my sleeve. So from there, I'll be able to know where I want my sleeve length to be. So if whatever it is, if it is shorter, then you have to trim off the excesses. But I'm going to use the entire, piece there. So right now I'm marking out 1.5 inches for my slope. Then I came down there and marked what 3 inches right there. So I'm going ahead to connect my slope right there. Okay, then from that slope I'll indicate the sleeve opening, okay, because of course this is a cut together with the sleeve. So I indicate a sleeve opening of 11. Then I'm going extending the lines there, and that's going to represent what my chest line. So from the top there I'm indicating the waistline at 17. Then the next I'm indicating the hip line at 25. I'm marking that down as well. Then I'm also going to indicate the above the new length, and that one is going to be at 32. So that is where my cowl effect is going to stop. From the top to that above knee length, that's where my cowl effect is going to stop. So I'm marking that down. So I'll just go ahead and convert everything to a straight line. So after that, now I'm going ahead to label it all: the chest line, the waistline, the hip line, and the above knee length there. So I'm going to use one measurement for all. And the funny thing is we're not going to be applying the measurements where it's actually needed. So I'm using the hip circumference of 44 divided by 411. I'm going ahead to add extra 4 inches to that, which makes it 15. So the thing is, I'm going to be marking this 15 on that above the knee length. That's where I'm indicating the measurement all the way to the length of the dress. That's why I said we are not fixing the measurement where it's actually needed. So on the waistline, the chest line, the hip line, we're not going to add that because that's just where we're going to create the cowl effect. So you can see from that above knee length all the way down, that's where I fixed in the hip circumference, divide by 4 plus extra 4 inches. So from that sleeve opening now, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going inward by 1 inch just to create a little bit of an armhole curve right there. It might not be so visible. So from there now, I will now create a curve. So this is going to give me what? The cowl effect. So you can see how I'm demonstrating that right now. So I'm going ahead to just curve it. So from that above knee length, you can see how I'm tracing out the curve all the way to the sleeve opening line there. And that is it, guys. We're done with the side drafting. You can see this. It's so easy. There's nothing difficult here at all. So if you are cutting through, that is the way you cut through, and so simple. All right. So the next thing I want to indicate now is the neck measurement. So I'm using a neck width of 3.5. Okay, that's what I'm working with, 3.5 for the neck width. Then for this is the back, so I'm using a neck depth of 1 inches. Okay, so just create a curve. That's just going to be my curve right there. And guys, we're done with the back drafting. We're done with the back drafting. So I'm going ahead to cut the neckline. So I'm not going to cut out the slope yet. Yes, I'll just go ahead and cut out the slide because I need to place this on the front piece. So I just want to be sure that I have it correctly before I can now go ahead and cut out the slope for the back piece. So this is it, guys. Just going ahead to trim out some excesses right there. You can see this is the back piece, as easy as that. Yes, I'll be cutting off the slope later on. So right now I'm just going to go ahead now and fold the fabric for my front piece. So this is it. So the first thing I'll do now is to indicate 6 inches from the startup line. This is the front piece. So this 6 inches is going to be the collar. Okay, that's what we're going to use to create the collar effect, the built-up collar there. So I'm marking out 6 inches, as you can see right now. So from there now, that's going to be my start up line. So I will now bring back my my back piece now. So I'm going to place it, you can see, on that line, which is now my startup line. So all I'm going to do now is just to trace out everything that I have there. Okay, I'm just going to trace out the side drafting there, and also the neckline. So you can see me going ahead to trace that out, you can see, and also tracing the sides there. That's just all I'm doing right now. So after that, I'm also going ahead to cut this out, so you can see this now. So once I'm done with that, so I can now, take this off. So I'm not going to do any other thing. So that's next we drafted there. We need it to be able to also, cut out for the depth of the front neckline. So you can see I'm done with the back piece now. So concentrating on the front piece now. So you can see I'm going ahead to also indicate the slope right there. The slope for the front piece, 1.5 there. You can see this. Now I'm going to indicate the depth. The depth of the neckline for the front, I want to use 9 inches. You can do 7, you can do 8, depends on what you want. So I'm doing 9 inches. So I'll just create a V-neck effect. You can see what I'm doing, creating a V-neck to the neck width there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to create the collar. But first of all, I need to take the measurement of the neckline for the back. So you can see me placing my tape around the back neckline. Okay, so do this carefully. You can do this twice, just to be sure you get the right measurement. So I have about 4.7 there, 4.7. So that's what I'm going to use now to create the length of my collar. So you can see that V shape now. So you're just going to trace it upward, just in that same slanted form. I marked out that 4.7 I just measured from the back neckline. Then I'll add 0.5 inches as well. Okay, 0.5 inches I'll also add that. So you can see that we're just maintaining that slanted line upward, right? All right, so the next thing is to create the width of the collar. So I want the width of the collar to be 1.5, but I'll add 0.5 inches to it. So that will be 2 inches. So you see me the way I'm placing my tape now. So I'm marking out the 2 inches right there, and we'll go ahead and connect the lines. It's as easy as that, guys. So you can see this. And that is it, guys. We've just created our collar width. So I'll just go ahead and match it up again to the actual neck depth again. Just use a ruler and match it up right there, and we'll have our built-up collar is ready. It's that simple, it's straightforward. There's nothing difficult here at all. And I want to advise you, as a beginner, if you're doing this, please draft this on a pattern paper, especially this front piece, okay, so that you don't make scam. Very I'm just taking a risk here. Okay, draft this on a pattern paper so that you don't make a mistake. Okay, this is how it's meant to be done. Okay, I'm just doing this on the fabric. I'm not supposed to, actually. So right now you can see we have this now. Our front piece is ready. This is it, guys. That's simple, right? All right, so now I'm going to create the neck design. So you can see I have my plain fabric here. I've already ironed my interface. It makes everything easy. So I'm just going ahead to fold this now. So what I want to do now is to draft out what I already have for this my front piece. Just the upper part. So you're just going to place this in such a way that the length of the design is going to be to your desired length, actually. So I want mine to be just a little bit below the under bust, which is like 15 inches. So you can do yours to as much as 16 or 17, just like you have on the thumbnail right there. But I want mine to be shorter. So you can see I'm just going ahead to trace out everything there. Okay, so and I'm going to stop at where I want it to be. So you see, that's why my interfacing didn't extend so much, because I know where I wanted it to stop. So just going ahead to trace this out. We only drafted out the collar there and the depth of the neckline there. So you can see this. I'm cutting that out. So this is what we have, right? Okay, so now that we have this now, I will now go ahead and, trace out the actual neck design that I want. Okay, all right, so we're actually following out what we have on the thumbnail already. So from there, you can see where my tape is the actual starting point. Don't forget that the extension there is the collar. So I'm marking out 15 inches, which is where I want my neck design to stop. So you can see me indicating that on the other side. Okay, so if you want your neck design to be longer, then you extend the length. So now I've drafted a straight line now. Then I'm going to indicate the midpoint. So I'm using the depth of that V-neck there to mark the midpoint right there. Then I'll come to the side there and I'll move out by 4 or 5 inches. So you see where I'm placing my tape from that point. Okay, so you need to be careful carefully do this on the right side. Very important when you're creating the design, so that you know the exact way, the shape of your design and how it's going to be on your fabric. So the camera is positioned in such a way that you are seeing this probably in a reverse form. So what you're seeing here now as the right hand side is actually on the left hand side. Okay, yeah, so don't be confused here. So it's what the most important thing is, cut it what on the right side. Do not cut on the wrong side. That will help you know the actual way where your design is going to be. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing now. So I'm just marking out, just follow what I'm doing. That's all. That's how mark 5 inches away from the other side. And here I just make sure that I created what an angle 90 degree towards the other side. Okay, yeah. Then to create that v-neck on the lowest part, I went up by 4 inches on one side, and I'm doing the same thing 4 inches on the other side. Then those 2 points I marked now, I will make them meet at what that midpoint we marked earlier on. So you can see this. So this is just me trying to what replicate what you already have on the thumbnail. So this is just it, guys. So I'll go ahead now and cut this out. There's nothing extra here at all. Okay, if you don't understand it, just carefully go through it again. I'm sure you will. There's nothing difficult here at all. Okay, like I said, you can choose to extend the length of your design if you want to. So you can see what I'm doing. And like I said, our design is ready. And I like the fact that I ironed my interfacing. That makes everything easy. So bringing back my main piece right now. So I'm just going to place this now, so that you see how this looks already. So you can see this now. It's coming out right. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to sew. I'm going to be sewing that v-neck first, but I have to do this on the wrong side. So you can see I have to place this on the wrong side and sew on that v-neck. After that, I'll go ahead and notch it, then turn it to the other side. I'll go do that now. And here it is. I've gone ahead to sew the v-neck, so you can see this now. Then carefully notch, just notch very, very close, okay, so that you can really, really relax when you're turning it to the other side. Just notch very close to the seam line, and of course go ahead and turn it over. You can see how it looks. So all I need to do is to give this a very good press. After that, then you fold. Just follow what I'm doing. Every shape of the size there, just fold in 0.5 inches and top stitch. That is just all we're going to do here. Fold it inwards and top stitch on top of it all the way to the end of the top there. And after that, of course, I'll give this what a very good press. I'll go finish this up. And here, guys, I'm done. So you can see how beautiful this is looking right now. All right, so you can see the only part you have left open is that collar part. So when I turn it to the wrong side, I could see that I have some excesses there. So I'm just going ahead to what trim everything out. So you can see we have everything perfectly done right now. So taking it over back to the front piece now. So I'm going to go ahead and join the collar like you see me demonstrating. Just join the collar like so. Spread it this way and so. Just sew with 0.5 inch. So when you're done sewing, you can see this, then you can see now that we've already created that collar, right? This is how it's looking already. So what we are going to do now is time to now place the back piece over it. So but before we do that now, I'm going to indicate the midpoint of the back neckline. So you can see me folding the neckline to 2. I'll go ahead and notch it there, okay? Can also go further. I used my chalk just to indicate it so that it will be very visible. So once that is done, then I will now place it right side to right side. Just make sure that that collar joining matches up with where we have notched on the back neckline. Just make it match there. You can pin it down and sew from that point to the end of the sleeve, and from that same point to the other end of the sleeve, and that will be, just take your time and you'll be able to get this right. And here, guys, I've done that, and I'm also gone ahead to weave the edges. Very, very important to clean up those rough edges. And so this is how it looks. Our collar is intact right now. You can see how beautiful this looks. So in the process of sewing this collar, there's tendency that the sleeve is going to be shortened on one side, okay? So all I need to do now is just to go ahead and trim off the excesses. All you need to do is just to trim off excesses and adjust. So you can see me trimming off and also readjusting my cowl effect there, okay? So once that is done now, the next thing now is to indicate the actual length of my sleeve opening because we've gone ahead to trim some excesses. So from that shoulder joining, I'm just going to measure the sleeve opening. I'm marking out 10.5 on one side. From that shoulder joining, I'm also marking out 10.5 on the other side. You know, we've already joined the shoulder by 0.5. So we'll mark out 10.5, okay? All right, so once there, I've indicated that now. So I'll now use my band. So this is the band. I've also ironed my interfacing, okay? So this is a width of about 3 inches. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to sew. I'll be sewing from the inside, so I'll quickly demonstrate that using my pin right now. So I'll sew from the inside. After that, then I'll go ahead and, move everything to the front. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing, just cutting off the excesses that I don't need. I'll use that for the other side of the sleeve. So after sewing like so from the inside, then you go ahead and push the plain fabric to the right side now, like you see me doing. Then you will now fold it 0.5 inches inwards again, and you top stitch. That is all you're going to do here. So once you do that, give this a very good press and this will be ready. So I'll do this, and for the other sleeve, then I'll show you the next step. And here, guys, we're done with the sleeve band. You can see how beautiful this is looking. You can see this. And for the other sleeve, I tell you that we're almost done now. You won't believe it. Like, the next thing to do now is just to go ahead and join the sides. Like, just carefully arrange this firmly. You can see the way I'm demonstrating. Take it from that sleeve opening, run through the cowl effect there, the curve there, and all the way straight down to the end of the dress, and the same thing on the other side. The final thing to do will be to hem the lowest part. And guys, this kaftan dress is ready. That's it, guys. We're done here, believe it or not. Thank you so much, guys, who've come to the end of today's tutorial. I hope you find this helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that. Okay, remember to on your notification bells, like, share with friends. I will appreciate this a whole lot. Thank you so much, guys, for always joining me. See you on the next one. Bye.